Oh my god, guys, check this out. Bird has been hit. There it is, guys. The car's fully stripped to the bones. Now that I've got the dashboard out of the way, I can finally start on the front end of this BMW M4, get all this damaged parts off, to see the extent of the damage and also to see what the parts we will need to order. I'm going to start by taking off the bonnet because that's the biggest piece that's covering the front end, and we'll work our way from there. So in order to remove the bonnet, there are 4 bolts that's holding the bonnet to the bonnet hinges. After removing them, then it's quite easy to just lift it off since it's made out of aluminium. And then we can continue to the front bumper. The top on the left side of the bumper has been ripped off during the crash, so there's only a few bolts that's actually holding the bumper to the car. After removing them, the bumper unclips and comes off. Right, the bumper is fully off. To be honest, I was quite nervous to see some more hidden damage, but so far so good. I don't see that the reinforcement bar is damaged. The headlight seems to be okay, and the radiator pack seems to be fine as well. So far so good. Let's keep removing damaged parts and hope for the best. So guys, taking the bumper off, we did find that there are no extra hidden damages, but a few bits of the bumper is missing. Obviously the grills are missing, but a few bits that are inside of the bumper, such as this sensor here. This is the blind spot sensor, and it's missing, completely missing from this side. So we will have to order that one for the passenger side, and the thing is, they will have to be programmed to the car as well as them parking sensors, parking assist and parking sensor are missing as well from this side. So those are the extra bits that we're gonna need. Guys, and the good news is that I found the camera for the front bumper. It was just lying here, lying there, and I would consider myself lucky because these are quite expensive, and on top of that, the sensor isn't damaged at all. They cost around £400 second hand, and on top of that, we need to be programmed to the car, so that's gonna be another 100 quid, I would say. And yeah, now I will be taking this off. The struts have to come off first to take this off. Then yeah, we'll go from there. Then after that, I'll be taking the wing off. So let's get to work. Oh my god, guys, check this out. Bird has been hit, but there's no damage to the actual radiator thanks to this little shield here. This was meant for the stone chip, but in this case, it's protected against the bird as well. So lucky for us, unlucky for the bird. Now that I've taken everything off from the top and around of the radiator, I can see that there's nothing damaged at the back. So that's great news. And also what's great news is that nothing has been pushed so far back that it could have touched the fan belts or the pulleys. So we got lucky there because these rat packs are not cheap at all. Now I will be taking this off, and also we can see that all the damage was focused towards the headlight. As you can see, the wing is damaged, this part of the bonnet was damaged, and the small radiator here, and obviously the bonnet catch is demolished, and this is the headlight. This is what's left of the headlight. All the modules are damaged. Everything, there's nothing I can use from the headlight there. Now I will be taking the radiator off, the small one, and after that I'll be taking the bonnet catch off. So in order to get access to the bonnet catch bracket bolts, I first have to remove the auxiliary radiator, then I can undo the two 13mm bolts to remove the bonnet catch bracket itself. After that, I continued to undo the bolts for the headlight top bracket, which revealed damage to the inner wing and may also be pushed in. So I got the measuring tape and measured from the tip of the inner wing to the brace strut on the damaged side, and did the exact same thing on the good side to see if I get different measurements, and if I did, it means it's pushed in. Right guys, now that we have removed all these crumbled parts off from there, I can see that there's a slight damage onto the inner wing. I initially thought that this might have been pushed in slightly. I can't see any creases on top, but I still thought that this might have been pushed in slightly. So I got my measuring tape from the good side and measured from this corner to the middle of this nut. And keep in mind, this is not damaged at all, this is from manufacture. To the middle of this nut, it was 41 centimeters, and on the damaged side I did this exact same measurement. So I measured from this corner to the middle of this nut, and it was exactly 41 centimeters as well. So now that we know that this is not damaged, which is actually great news, and this damage here, it can be repaired quite easily. So other than that, I can't see any other damages, apart from this here. This will need to be ordered. Quick tip for all of you guys out there, if you ever want to take a car apart, make sure to screw all of these nuts and bolts back on. That way you'll never lose any screws or bolts or nuts, and you'll know exactly where they go as well. And also I've put the air filter box back on because I don't want to leave any open hoses or open pipes for anything to fall into the engine, and obviously that could really damage the engine. So keep all these things in mind when you take a car apart. So now, in order to get the wing off, I'll have to remove this panel here to get to the screws, and also I'll have to remove the side skirt. I'll have to remove the side skirt anyways because I'll be taking the quarter panel off next. So let's get the panel off. We start off by removing the plastic trim that's covering the top bolts for the wing. Then we can remove the 3 10mm bolts that's holding the wing down. We then get to the side skirt. For some reason, half the bolts were missing from the bottom, so we remove the remaining bolts and move on to the top half, where we get the sill trim out of the way to get access to a few more clips. We remove them and off comes the side skirt. We finally got access to the bolt at the bottom. Right, the bracket is off, and just because of this one bolt here, I have to take the whole side skirt off. And to do a proper job on these, I'll have to take the full door out, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try my best to take the bolt off without taking the door off. So, right. Right, change of plans guys. I did say I wasn't going to remove the door, but at this point, I'll have to remove the door because I need to get this plastic cover off to get to the bolts for the wing, and in order to do that I'll have to remove the door first. And yeah, not a great design, BMW. There are 2 10mm bolts holding the door to the hinges and 1 bolt to the door check strap. We remove them and lastly unplug the wiring loom, which we can then lift the door off. With the door out of the way, we can now remove the remaining bolts and get the wing off the car. Right, what a mission that was. I did finally manage to get the wing off, and in order to do that I had to get the side skirt off first, just to get to this bolt here, and I had to get the door off, completely off, just to get to this bolt here. And I will be putting the door back on just for time being, and I'll be ordering another wing. And now I will be working on the back, get the bumper off and see the extent of damage at the back. get the bumper off, we start off by undoing the 8mm bolts which are located on the underside of the wheel arch liner. Some more bolts at the bottom, and even more bolts on the other side. We then remove the last 8mm bolt at the top. Remove the tail light, and off comes the bumper. After removing the wiring loom, of course. So now that I've removed the bumper completely off, you can see the extent of damage here. So there are three sections here: the quarter panel section, the rear box section, and the rear section that's there. I've already ordered all three of them, and luckily this is not damaged, the crash bar. And what other thing is damaged is the tailgate. I will be repairing the same one, the same tailgate, because it's only small damage. And other thing I've got lucky on is this sensor. It's not damaged and it's not missing, which is good. And let me show you the quarter panels. That's the damaged bumper, and that is the new bumper, new quarter panel. That's the back section, the back box section, and that's the rear section that goes underneath the tailgate. Before we can start on the quarter panel, I need to remove the side and rear glass, but that isn't as easy as said. They are glued to the car using a special glue that can withstand harsh sunlight and is also flexible, so the glass don't break when you drive over a bump. So to remove these, we need special cutting tools and 2 people. So I got my dad to help me out with this. So guys, I did remove the quarter panel glass, which is there. Now I'll be removing the back glass, but in order to do that, I'll have to remove the tailgate first. We start by removing the plastic trims, then the inner liner to get access to the bolts. So now I will be removing all these wirings in order to get the tailgate off, but BMW could have just put a main plug there for easy removal, but they just had to make it a little bit harder for us. So now I'll get the cables out first, the wiring, then I'll be removing these bolts there to get the tailgate off. Okay, no more complaints about BMW engineering, I promise. I love BMWs. So anyways, we then unclip all the wiring from the taillights and the rear camera. Then lastly, undo the 4 12mm bolts to remove the tailgate. We then move on to the interior. I have to remove the parcel shelf panel to give me a little bit more room, and also don't want to cut into it when removing the rear glass. And again, we use the same special cutting tools and some help from my dad to remove the rear glass. I had to be extra cautious not to damage the carbon fiber roof. And finally, off with the glass. Right guys, the car is almost stripped to bits. I've taken both of the glasses out. Next I will be removing this inner liner before I can start working on the quarter panel. I will be also using hydraulics jack just to push this damage out a bit before I can get the rivets and spot welds grinded off and then remove the whole quarter out. To get access to the inside of the quarter panel, I need to get the tailgate liner out first. Then we get to some modules which are for the sound system and electric tailgate, I think. I continue to remove the liner for the driver's side so I don't damage the liner when using the hydraulic jack. I then place some timber blocks for backing. Position the hydraulic jack and start pushing the damage out. So guys, now that has been jacked out, I will be starting from the front of the quarter panel. I will be using sand belt to sand these little spot welds so it doesn't damage the inner panel. Now finally starting on the quarter panel. We start off by using a belt sander to sand away the spot welds to separate the outer skin from the much tougher inner section. I then scrape and burn off the glass glue to reveal more spot welds. So guys, I have sanded most of the spot welds from the top and from the sides. Now I will be getting to the bottom. Before I do that, I will be removing the wheel and arch liner to give me a little bit more space. We start off by lifting the car up on a jack and then undo the bolts for the wheel. Once the wheel is out of the way, I can undo the bolts for the wheel arch liner and remove it from the car. Then I continue to scrape off the seam sealer from the bottom section to reveal some more spot welds. We sand them and move on to the top where we'll be doing some more sanding. I then started using a drill for spot welds because the belt sander is so time consuming, and besides, the new panels will need drill holes for welding anyways. We then remove even more seam sealer at the rear. Right guys, so I did remove most of the glue that were here, and underneath that you can see all the spot welds. I will be drilling them out to separate the quarter panel from the rear panel. Alright guys, I'm done drilling and sanding the spot welds from the quarter panel, and there are actually some spot welds left out there which I can't quite get to for now. I will need to remove the quarter panel and grind this off, cut it out of the way so I can get to them spot welds afterwards. For now I'll be using this chisel, this flat chisel, to separate the quarter panel from the inner body. And now we start chiseling away at the already drilled holes, trying to separate the outer skin from the inner section. And some more chiseling at the top. We then use masking tape to mark where we will be cutting into the panel. And using angle grinder, we carefully begin the incision from the bottom, the middle, and lastly the top of the panel. And again, even more chiseling. On some areas of the panel, the manufacturer uses special foam adhesive to hold the outer skin to the inner section, and I use heat to soften and separate that adhesive. And after so much sanding, drilling, cutting and heat, the quarter panel finally comes off. So I finally managed to get the quarter out fully. It's right there. And now I can see there is slight damage to the inner wheel arch, which I can repair. There's not a problem, it's just a little crease there. and luckily there's not damage to the actual frame of the body. And now I will be continuing to remove this part, rear section. I will be cutting it from there. There is no need to swap the whole thing out, even though I've got the full thing. And then after that I'll be removing this part, the box section. We now start off by removing the exhaust heat shield from the underside to give me a better access to the bottom of the box section. I'll then use angle grinder to cut the rear section and remove it off the car. I'll use the angle grinder again to cut open the box section to give me a little bit more space to drill the spot welds. And then I use heat again to separate the section from the seam sealer. After all that sanding and drilling, you think it's finished by now, but guess what? We got even more sanding and drilling to do. After some more chiseling and hammering, it finally came off. There it is, guys. The car's fully stripped to the bones. It does look kind of scary at the moment, but don't worry, just trust the process and I'll be making this look like an M4 again. Quite frankly, a better one. That's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for part 3 where I'll be putting this car back together. So leave a like if you enjoyed the video and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.